What's up, chat? Happy Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. Crank it up. You know how we do. Let's pop the bang. Let's get ready. Do a little homework. Love it. Been snapping. What up, James? I'm about to light this beat up. All right. Earth to air. What's up, buddy? Crispy. Hear about Tiger. I just heard about this Tiger Woods accident about 10 minutes ago. That's pretty wild, pretty crazy. Ah, man, let's slow roll it out, guys. I needed 10 extra minutes to get caught up on work. See, my eye's still a little glassy, but it's all right though. What's up, Adam? Why did that go to the main screen? Going Harden George. I'm going with 75% tonight on FanDuel because I'm really not feeling anybody else in that shooting guard spot. Hey, I don't think you can go wrong with those guys pre-flop. They sound high usage, high per minute guys in elite spots. Right? Wizards and Kings defense, that's what you want. What up, Darren? None and the Lakers overtime bailed me out last night. I tweeted it last night. Death, taxes. Lakers without Anthony Davis at home going to overtime. That's all they do. That's all the Lakers do is go to overtime. I don't know if LeBron's trying to add to his stats by stealing extra quarters. I don't know, man. But no, big L there. LeBron choking and the Lakers choking big lead in the fourth. Huge spot for the homie, the Brody. Milo, what's a realistic player to get for Al Horford? I don't know. What's Al Horford worth? I know his contract for the Celtics is so bad. But why? I don't know if you would want Horford. I don't know what his cost is. But if you're just looking for like a veteran stretch five, I don't know. I can't think of what team. I guess the Nets could use a Horford, but they could use any center, and they just don't have assets. So, and they also probably are pretty strapped for money. What's up, Marvski? James gave you fair warning. Now you on the we got bars. Hold up. Gave you fair warning. Now you on the stairs. Fallen. I'm calling out any rapper that I doubt. Smack him in the mouth. Throw him in the yoke. Boom. Then I knock him out. No doubt. Freddie Fox fouls 20. Bars. Hold up, James. Let me find out. Mopar. What's up, Mopar? What up, Gun? Crazy stuff yesterday. Cashed on a 16 parlay. Holy. Before the Lakers gave up the comeback. No. Oh, you cashed out. So you were able to cash it before. Okay. That's a good move there. Yeah. I know you guys have like the DK Sportsbook app. They'll deal or no deal you if you're in line to win something. I know a buddy Young C he's a Viper, RunDFS.com. He bet the Buccaneers before the season to win the Super Bowl, and I think it was like a $10 bet. He was in line to win 400 plus if they win, and I was like, well. You could cash out. You could hedge the $10 bet with like a $30 bet on the Chiefs or something like that. But ultimately, he cashed out, and it was that was my influence as well. I was like, yeah, you should probably cash out $100 guaranteed profit, and then of course, because I thought the Chiefs would win. I thought the Chiefs would win, and then the Chiefs did not win. But yeah, no, cashing out parlays when you're up, man, that's pretty lit. I finally quit my job to play DFS for a living. Holy. Holy. So is your guy from yesterday going to flame chat over THJ? Trust me, if he come at me with some Tim Hardaway nonsense, I got you. I got y'all, chat. We're not here to be results orientated. Eric Gordon pre-flop still the better play, or not still the higher floor play. It was only a floor debate. Who had the higher floor in the situation that they were in? You run those two games 100 times, and I said it on Twitter. If the Rockets stay competitive against the Bulls, it's because of Eric Gordon. Or at least Eric Gordon has a big part to do with it. Eric Gordon wasn't good. The Rockets didn't stay competitive against the Bulls. Simple as that. And on the flip side, not only was Tim Hardaway good, but Jalen Brunson was good, Josh Richardson was good, and you could argue that Luka was bad. It was a floor game for fantasy. He had 40 fantasy. So definitely didn't expect 3 guards from the Mavs to be great plays and Luka not being one of them, right? But no, congratulations, Adam. Just be safe. DFS full time is tough. I would definitely diversify your spend as much as possible, and then also get into Top Shot because nobody loses money in Top Shot. Me and wifey had two fish tacos. All right, $1,700 profit in 3 days in cash game since my birthday. Nice. 37% ROI. That's really, really good. You know, there was a time when I was a cash game player, and on the year, I was happy with 12 to 25% ROI. Like, if I got that, and that was based off of, like, poker grind, like a 12%. But then like, I just kept blowing that number out of the water. And then DFS got tough, and now, like, I think a 12% ROI on significant volume would be back to being a good thing. Kyrie said he's excited to have fans back and vowed to put on a show tonight. Yeah, I think it's the first game for fans in Brooklyn, and it's limited. So, like, it's a lot of people with a lot of deep pockets. Darius, LeBron chokes all the time. Yo. Guys, if we say this type of stuff, when I bring Raj in here, he's going to lose his mind. I don't know. He's Canadian Skip Bayless for a reason. He's like the biggest LeBron truther of all time. Let's do it. Oh, it's loading. RTTC connecting. Anyway. What's up, Lorenza? What up, Mr. Portugal? 6K to the house. Faded wall. Gordon Lillard. Let's do it again. All right. Damian Carnahan. What's up, Dame? What up, Gun? Just woke up. Crazy slate yesterday. Only had a min cash. Got 3036. None. Doncic, Gordon, SGA, Hayward, LeBron, Kuzma, Tucker. I told you guys. Don't effing play. PJ Tucker can play 45 minutes in a 30-minute game for free. He's not guaranteed to be in my player pool. Like, what's up, Pete? Death taxes and the Joker at home. Let's go. Had Gordon, THA, and cash. So I had THA on DraftKings. I didn't think in and of the slate of the day, I didn't think he was like a bad play for the DK price. But we got lost in a debate that wasn't necessarily salary related. It was more so player related. What's up, Casey? Explain Top Shot for us, Gun. All right, Top Shot is like the love child of trading cards and crypto and NFTs, and you put them all together. And the creators of Top Shot are bottlenecking releases of packs versus, for instance, yesterday they did a pack drop, 5,000 packs. There was like 60K people in line, if not more, trying to get these packs. So the packs are $9, the commons. You can get some promo packs for $15 when you stand in line. And essentially, if you get a pack, you unlock 3 virtual trading cards, and you're able to sell them back to the marketplace. And because the supply is much smaller than demand, right now getting a pack is just auto profit. And that's what you're seeing a lot of people do. And then also you're seeing the stone ages of this concept just take off at a dramatic stage. It's almost like the life of Bitcoin in a consolidated amount of time in terms of how that took off. And players are buying in, and I think that's something that's encouraging. This is an officially licensed NBA concept project. Big money, smart brain guys are behind are endorsing it. Mark Cuban's hyped it up, and now the players themselves are just on Twitter having a blast with it. So yeah, and listen, I have $15 of my own money into Top Shot, and right now my account's probably worth $5.5 grand in like 2 months. Like it's been that type of growth. Seems unsustainable, but at the same time, we're in the early days, and most people can only see Top Shot getting bigger. So that's what it is in a nutshell. I feel like there's smarter people to kind of bring you to it than me. But that's what I do. We have a Top Shot channel in the Discord. Let me try getting Raj again. Here. Oh, I think Discord is down. Hold on. Or at least that channel's down. Here.
Yo, now here we go. I can hear you.
For some reason, the locked stream channel doesn't work. And this happens sometimes. Some of these voice chats will work, some won't. So I have to shut down the NBA chat before some trolls get in here.
Got it.
All right, private channel. Boom. Nope, save. What's up, Raj?
Another day, another grind. Prayers up for Tiger Woods. Not looking so good. I think we just saw the end of an icon, like injury-wise. I think his career's over.
So what are they saying? 2 broken legs?
Yeah, 2 broken legs. The car crash looks serious. At his age, with his back problems, coming back from 2 broken legs? No, there's no way.
It's golf.
Okay,
you don't see Tiger on the senior tour in 4 years. I don't know. I mean, broken legs don't stay broken forever, but I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah. He was just preparing for comeback. Masters around the corner. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Mopar says LeBron free throw choke and his stupid smile after he missed, like it was okay. That happens sometimes, but
yeah. That 3 at the end of the game, he just wanted to get the hell out of that. He just shot that 3 from Mars. Thought he was Steph for a minute. He just like, yo, forget this game. I'm out.
I think when fans, and trust me, I've been there. When you see somebody choke and they're just smiling, like I'll never forget. Aroldis Chapman, when he gave up the homer to Jose Altuve, he stood there and it looked like he was smiling, like he enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And we saw him do that against Rajay Davis against the Indians as well. It's just like, what are you supposed to do? Like you just stand there. It's like an embarrassed smile, but you just gotta not take it too. So like, don't grill the man for the smile. But
again, it's the dog days in the NBA. All-Star break coming up. No AD, no Schroeder. They're down their second and third best player. I'm not reading too much into the Lakers regular season.
I mean, I definitely would be panic button because without Anthony Davis, it's a problem. And this is not just this season, right? A couple years back, that first Lakers team didn't make it, right? Like they need help if AD can't stay healthy.
Oh yeah, no. If they don't have a healthy AD, it's over. They need a healthy elite AD to play at a level that like Joel Embiid's playing right now for sure in the playoffs.
But I'll also like one is LeBron James. You just get him the 8th seed or better. You get him to the dance. Yeah. He's gonna dance. 2, I mean they're really, and I think part of it's him. They're really trying to get him to play every game for this MVP nonsense. And at some point, if he grinds out every game and they're a 6th seed, but
you're not getting
come June he's exhausted and you tank in the playoffs because he just got nothing in the tank. What's more worth it, the MVP or the finals for the team? So I don't know. I get it. But yeah, it seems like every home game the Lakers seem to be without AD lately against some beatable team, right? A team they should beat. Whether it's the Wizards last night, and I think the Wizards are probably the most talented team offensively in terms of having some star players versus like the G League Thunder or the G League Timberwolves or the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I'm not gonna hate on them though. Awesome. What cards did I get in that pack? So I had a Cool Cats pack, which I registered for, and like a week later, I won a raffle to get the rights to buy it. And it was a Cool Cats Devin Booker, it was a James Wiseman dunk, and it was a Tyrese Halliburton 3. I probably sold it all for about $1,100 then. if I would have kept it now, those cards alone are probably netting 4K, maybe 3K, depending on what time of day it is. So it is what it is, but it's like that type of stuff. I didn't really foresee that quick of a market boom, but it's booming. It's booming. EB says Tim Hardaway, Raj take. Okay, hold on.
Talk about it.
First of all, for every one Raj take that broken clocks its way to value, there's 10 more that y'all forget about.
Hey, chat. You know what's funny too? After all that bashing of Tim Hardaway, Gunn puts him in the VIP line.
Because I didn't think he was a bad play. The debate wasn't whether or not he's a good or bad play. The debate was you calling him Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon, which he was
which in one night.
Talk about it.
In one night. But guess what? If Tim Hardaway has a bad game yesterday, the Mavericks aren't like automatically out of it. If Eric Gordon has a bad game in yesterday's situation with no Christian Wood, no DeMarcus Cousins, no Victor Oladipo, the Rockets were out of it. Guess what? Eric Gordon had a bad game, and the Rockets were out of it. Like, that was the case. Like, the check boxes and the floor, the median range of outcomes pre-flop was in Eric Gordon's spot. But not only that, you in the same breath, you were hating on Jalen Brunson, who was a better play than Tim Hardaway. So please.
But we taking that Tim Hardaway victory lap, chat. Don't let Gunn take it away from us.
No. What do you mean we? What do you mean?
Chat rolling with Tim Hardaway with me, baby. They with me on this one.
Mopar can't buy any packs on Top Shot. I think that's so. Like I said, the supply and demand. The supplies they're keeping it small, but the demand's so high, and that's what's keeping a lot of the value as high as it is. I don't think long term this type of stuff is sustainable. I also feel like maybe the common packs are a little bit more than $5K. You know.
I mean, look, right now, Marketplace, I think the cheapest card is $19.
Yeah,
so, like,
which there was,
and the pack is $9 from a comment, so like it's like every pack is profitable. It's clearly not sustainable in the long run, but right now when there's just
right, yeah, I mean, I'm just flipping. I got a 3K investment on this Cool Cash challenge for the AD card, and I probably once it opens up. I'm expected to be able to turn that 3K into 10K. But
I don't get how. Just you bought those cards for the challenge and sell it as a set, or
no. So, I mean, I would sell them all individually, and then I have that card. So the cards that I bought for the one card for card X, I could sell all those cards once I don't need them anymore, and then I still have card X. So
and card X's value will be
and it'll be even better because it's much more limited.
Gotcha.
You can view my every daily life. Watch Gun almost every day for last year. No, don't feed the trolls. That's the same. I'm sure this Johnny Cow is just this got 8 burners. He'll be back. The haters going hate. It is what it is. I probably make more money in the last month than Johnny's made in the last 5 years. We just don't acknowledge him. It is what it is. We're here. Good vibes only. Drop that Discord link, Raj. Hold up. What? Let him live. I'll let him live. Hey, but yesterday, Russell Westbrook led the entire slate in fantasy scoring, 63.5. LeBron James, number 2, 62.5. Great correlation play. Bradley Beal, number 3, 55. And then Kendrick Nunn, Raj. We forget that one. Kendrick Nunn, 51.25.
I mean, he was a 5 play. I told you, with no hero. I just
No, mother effer.
Okay. I didn't say he was bad play 100%.
The opportunity cost at 41 minutes was higher. So, again, chat, you guys remember Tim Hardaway, but you don't remember the small ones.
I mean, Kendrick done good play. I mean, but he mattered a lot more because Luka flopped. And
the Luka flop changed it. Luka and John Wall, those two flopping shaped the slate.
Exactly.
And it was what it was. Wendell Carter Jr., 45. Like Tim, not all the Bulls, the Bulls except Zach LaVine, who Raj was on.
Yep, that's right.
We want to keep bringing it now. Montrezl Harrell loved Montrezl. Thought that he should have closed. They went back to Marc Gasol.
Oh, yeah. He averaged like 2 points per minute.
Bro, real points. 26 real points in 23 minutes. And they were like, all right.
Points,
in a spot where we need real points. Hey, Marc Gasol, what are you doing? Let's get you in there. Like, what? Come on, Frank Vogel.
I know Montrezl Harrell is a defensive liability, but I don't think Marc Gasol's
at that stage, who cares about defense, right? They go out there and score more points. And they didn't do it. Luka, 11.4K, 42 DKP, 21-7-5. The team was vibing. And like I said, all the guards. Josh Richardson had over 20 fantasy points in the first quarter. Like, he was having the Luka game. So Luka, very highly owned, sought after. Without Porzingis, just dropped 42.75. And I thought that was interesting because I thought Luka's game log without Porzingis wasn't as good as people thought it would be. And I don't think it's necessarily a correlation. Maybe I think it's just like happenstance or coincidence. DKP by game log without Kristaps Porzingis. But I think you could say that, hey, Luka's Luka. He's gonna be a great play day to day. But the track record here, this isn't like Kawhi without Paul George, right? There is the last 5 games for Luka without Porzingis, 56 or less fantasy points. And then if you expand it to last 10, there's only 2 games above 60 fantasy points, DKP. So
it'd come an 80 bomb today.
Yeah, and that would be hashtag DFS. But I also I think if you like Luka yesterday, or even going forward, it maybe shouldn't be specifically because Porzingis is down, which he's down again today. LaMelo Ball, 41 and a quarter. Donovan Mitchell, 40 and a half. The Hornets stuck around that one. Gordon Hayward went down. Water's wet. And then after he goes down, that game just loses it. 22-point win for the Utah Jazz. And I feel like I remember the Hornets winning at halftime. So big flop there for the game, and then also for Hayward kind of getting beat up there. But any other surprises yesterday? Hardaway 37, Kuzma 36. I was a little surprised at Kuzma's ownership. Chronic posted a link to his tournament. Kuzma was 3% owned. I was like, against the Wizards without AD? That's incredible. Gordon Hayward 34 in 26 minutes. And of course, mentioned Brunson, Clarkson. Rest of the slate was pretty normal. Damian Lillard.
I want to say, remember when I was mentioning, was it the Dallas peripheral pieces? You really want to stack them all? That Dallas peripheral stack, like he played Hardaway, Jalen Brunson, Richardson together. You were on the nuts.
No, because you would have been all over Luka in that scenario. Like what?
If you played those guys together, you would have. I would if you.
Yeah, no. If you played Hardaway, Brunson, J. Rich, and faded Luka, I'm convinced you own a time machine. Like what? Like what? And Luka with 33 minutes. It wasn't even like Luka rolls his ankle and five minutes in, and let me just play this.
But like all those guys end up being better than the Houston peripheral guys who everyone was on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They just shot absolute lights out. Tim Hardaway 7 for 11 from 3, 9 for 14 from the field, 7 for 11 for Brunson, and then J. Rich, a little bit of everything, a couple steals, rebounds. It was what it was, and I think Willie Cauley-Stein generated a lot of ownership. I ended up playing a nice little chunk, but there was really there was no center beneficiary. Clayball, Willie Cauley-Stein, Dwight Powell, all kind of bad plays.
Clayball out today. So more minutes for some other.
Yeah, Clayball and Porzingis is out today. So if you run back some Powell, run back some Willie Cauley-Stein, maybe DFS stretches out, plays deeper minutes. It's gonna be an interesting game to chop up. But that's what we do. That's what we're here for. Man. What's up, Gun? Late Night Hammer was real last night. Stacked that Washington Lakers game for the cash bank. 3,000. Let's go, baby.
Westbrook was such an elite pivot. Like, if you were on Westbrook yesterday, what a great call. Like, a lot of things.
Yeah, it made sense. That's back-to-back games of point guards versus Lakers without Schroeder and AD just going bananas. Westbrook, couple strong games there. And I like Westbrook. Westbrook's like my favorite player. Dude gets so much hate. So much hate anytime they lose. It's like, Westbrook can't shoot. He's building a brick house. Like, dude, Westbrook has one of those intangibles, man. He just competes. He's like, for me, he's Pat Bev without the defense. Like, he's got Pat Bev's personality with the intent of being Chris Paul, but not the talent of being Chris Paul. I just love him for his personality and his just grit, his grind. So I like to see him succeed in spots where people count him out. And I would also like to see Bradley Beal succeed. So I think this is more of a flash in the pan. But I'm at least happy that they're getting these moments, right? Shooting up the club, gun on dagger. Hold up. Anyway,
yes, I'm talking about.
Anyway, we got 9 games tonight. It's a big slate. We'll try to chop it up. stay ahead of the curve here. Let's go check out Fantasy Labs every day around 3 p.m. Dude, one guy has like 5 burners, and he's been in the chat 5 times to say that your voice is annoying to you, Rod. So just wanted you to know. He wants you to know clearly. The homie, Dang Lazy Mofo, just keeps shooting him down. But he's one of those bottom dwellers with 10 Google accounts, just switching it up. Your boy's voice is annoying. Watch this, guys. Watch this, guys. I'm going to log into my other account. Your boy's voice is annoying.
Hey, man, just ask your girlfriend.
No. Stop. Dang Lazy Mofo is the mod, not the hater.
Oh, my bad.
He's out there just beating him in the dirt.
Shout out to you, Dang Lazy Mofo.
You out here trying to shoot slugs. He's out here trying to protect you.
Bad.
Anyway, key news to watch: 3 p.m. Eastern. Steph Curry questionable. Kevin Looney questionable, Kyle Lowry questionable, Jeff Green questionable, Harrison Barnes questionable, Cam Reddish downgraded to doubtful, Taron Prince doubtful, Seth Curry probable, Michael Porter Jr. probable. And that's what we're dealing with, so kind of keep an eye on that. It is a back-to-back for the Wizards, but smells like Westbrook's going to play. He played the last one, right? In his home and native land, Cali. It's a back-to-back with no travel, sticking around the Staples Center. So I'm assuming it looks like he's gonna play. So we'll see. Is that the Astro Stadium in the background, fam, or the Braves, fam? Could we not disrespect the cathedral of baseball like this? Come on.
Jeez. We talking about the second best team in New York Stadium?
The second best team. If you think the Mets are better than the Yankees right now, you're out of your mind.
They're making moves.
They're not. They added Lindor and that's.
They're top 2 aces once DeGrom comes back.
DeGrom's DeGrom. Thor's got to prove himself, right?
Thor
had one good season. Other than that, one trick pony. Okay. Carlos Carrasco, I'm rooting for Carrasco. I wish I'd have known he was part of the deal. I'd have taken him. But come on, Garrett Cole.
They got upside.
They do, but they're not better than the Yankees. They're just not. As simple as that. Let's get this slate started. 7 p.m. tip-off. Hawks at the Cavs. Game number 1. Project starting 5 for the Hawks. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter. Cam Reddish, doubtful. So maybe you throw Danilo Gallinari into that mix. Maybe you throw Tony Snell for 35 minutes of zero peripheral basketball. You know what I mean? John Collins, Clint Capella taking on Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, Jetty Osman, Jared Allen. Got a 228 total with a 7.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young's been Mr. 50-plus fantasy points more than he hasn't been, and he's in a really solid matchup against the Cavaliers. Cavaliers' guard defense over the course of the last 2 seasons has really been one of the more premier spots in basketball, and if we just look at the road to success lately, SGA, 51.5 FanDuel points against the Cavs in 36 minutes. Jamal Murray had 68 in 39 minutes. Steph Curry had 50. Patrick Beverley had 36 in 21 minutes. So the path is essentially paved in gold right now for Trae Young to have another strong game. You take out Cam Reddish here. Cam Reddish representing 30-plus minutes of a guy that can shoot, facilitate if you need him to. I definitely think Trae Young could have another opportunity at 37 minutes if this game stays competitive. The road team here favored by 7.5. I think Trae Young just kind of falls through the cracks a lot, slate to slate. And there's a lot of times you look up and you see Trae Young's fantasy production. You're like, yeah, I guess I could have used that today over whatever. And I think 50-plus fantasy points is a realistic range of outcome and a realistic expectation. He's done it 3 games straight. We talked about that little skid there. San Antonio, Indiana, back-to-back blowouts. And then New York, slowest paced team, top 5 defense in basketball. A 3-game skid. But prior to that, he had several 50-plus fantasy point games, so I'm willing to go right back to some Trae Young here. I haven't really left Trae Young. Well, I cannot quit you. And I got him projected right about 50 fantasy points, so he's kind of sticking out to me as somebody I like. I don't hate dabbling in this front court a little bit. I think Collins at 6'5", can get me that mid 7Ks, or excuse me, that mid 35 fantasy points. And then Clint Capella's back down to earth at a playable price point. 82 on FanDuel, 79 on DK. 2020 upside, but probably 15-15. I have him for 40 fantasy points on the dot. You might try and replace the Cam Reddish minutes by up and down Danilo Gallinari a little bit. I would like to see Gallinari still come off the bench, if I'm being honest. Which and if he did that, I feel like it was a little more opportunity, less overlap with some of these higher usage starters. Like I said, I do think there's a chance maybe Tony Snell starts and just does nothing like usual. But if they started Gallo, it is what it is. On the Cavs side, Jared Allen, 7.6K on FanDuel, 7.5K on DraftKings.
I was heavy on him too last night, chat. We're going to victory lap Jared Allen.
He had a well, he didn't play last night, right? But
last
anyway,
night.
Yeah, okay. The Hawks defense is definitely something that we can pick on. If we look at their defensive rating, 112.7 points per 100 possessions. That's good for bottom 10 in basketball. And I definitely think there's cases to be made for some of these Cavs guys. I think Garland and Allen are probably the first two guys I want to look at. I don't want to get too creative with digging much more into Cavs players here. I think Jetty Osman could still be a 30 fantasy point guy.
Against centers. I want to see how Clint Capella's been doing.
That's 5 centers against Cavs or Hawks?
Hawks, against the Hawks.
It's first of all, against the Cavs, it's really good. Really good. Against the Hawks, ATL, Cleveland. Jokic dropped 43 and 37. Thompson 28. TT, that is. TT had back-to-back 28s. Then Nerlens Noel 24 and 28. And Miles Turner 41 and 34. So about league average.
Okay.
But centers have been destroying the Cavs. So
yeah,
maybe some Capella, Trae Young handcuffs. Throw them in the mix here.
Well,
those are two that stick out to me. I think Trae Young has a case for me to be like a tier 2 based on where I get or don't get in the rest of the slate. What are you doing with this game on the surface?
I think Trae Young, Clint Capella, tier 1 for both those guys. I mean, Jared Allen, we've been picking on even his Brooklyn days, right? I get centers against Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. I get centers against Cleveland with him playing 35-plus minutes here. I like that. We mentioned guards against Cleveland. And, again, no Cam Reddish and no DeAndre Hunter, who's still out. That's another big piece, too. So I think it's kind of Trae Young's show. Should check a lot here. I think Capella could get, 20-plus rebound type of spot. So give me that Trae Young, Clint Capella. I think tier 1 for me, both those guys. John Collins at 6,500 on DK. It's a very cheap price. He has 50-point upside. He also has a floor of like 20. So he does scream perfect GPP play. So I'm going to have some of that. And I think I'll probably have a lot of Hawks. I mean, Kevin Huerter at 5K. With Reddish out, I think he gets a bump. Again, still no Hunter. You mentioned Gallo, if he's coming off the bench. I like him as a value guy at 4,800. I'm going to have a lot of these Atlanta guys. These rest of these guys like tier 3 type of value. Maybe a tier 2 for Gallo, depending on how value breaks down the slate. Cleveland side, I want to play Cedi Osman again. He did get the price bump, but he's playing the minutes. No Torian Prince again. Should see 30-plus minutes of the power forward spot against Atlanta. So give me some of him. If I'm going to play all these guys, I think Garland, he's 6-1 on DK. He had an upside game against OKC. I feel like his floor at 6-20 against Atlanta should be okay. Like, should get you 28, 30 fantasy points, which is fine, but he has upside for 40. I like this game more than I thought I would. A lot of these guys are just priced very nicely.
I mean, it's a nice total for a Cavs game, right? 228.
Yeah. Both these teams are running a little slower.
Yeah. Both under 100 pace rating. Yeah. Right. Do you hear?
So yeah.
I swear, like every lawnmower in the state of Texas is outside my door right now. Like it's just.
I do hear like a buzz. Yeah.
Dude, I went outside this morning. The dumpster is just like dripping with bags of trash, and then the grass is bad. Like that ice storm, but it sounds like they're out there trying to make up for it. But maybe I need to get a soundproof wall because it's driving me nuts. I know any second now we're gonna hear. We definitely get a couple trains a stream, so there's so much noise pollution.
After snow too.
I swear I'd be in what?
Cutting grass after snow. It's like usually after snows, you just kind of leave it for like a week or two.
Dude, snow, like, you wouldn't even know it snowed if you looked outside right now.
Oh, it's like that.
Like,
okay. Storm over.
It's like 70 degrees, dog.
Mm.
Chat, what are you guys doing with this one? 10 dislikes. By the way, for the guy that keeps making new accounts to troll rods, and he drops a dislike every time, it helps the channel. No, it helps the channel. I appreciate, like, literally, the YouTube algorithm is based off of interaction. So, it's kind of like a heel in wrestling. Like, if you hate the video enough to...
I only have 15 dislikes right now.
I'm telling you, this kid is, like, just switching accounts. We have so many banned accounts coming through. But it helps the channel. It really helps. So, like, if you ever get to a point in your life, chat, where you want to attack a YouTube channel, I promise you, not reacting to the video is the way to do it. It's just 100% is. Little pro tip. Thumbs down is video interaction, and the YouTube algorithm just sees user interaction, and it helps more than it hurts. So I appreciate any interaction, but for aesthetic sake, if you want to combat the thumbs down, hit that thumbs up and show some love. But I also do appreciate the cat that's been banned in chat on like 20 accounts. I do appreciate the thumbs down because it is helping the channel. Lorenzo says Cleveland hasn't been that bad overall against centers. I think there are better matchups on the board. No, Cleveland's been pretty bad against centers lately. I'll give you the last 5. Al Horford dropped 32 and 28. Jokic 60. Draymond Green 45 and a half and 30. Serge Ibaka 44 and 30. Now, it's all about context, right? There's a couple of those guys. For instance, Jokic is Jokic. We take him out the mix, and then Draymond Green has 16 assists. Clint Capella might not have 2 assists, much less that. But it has been a proper DFS fantasy matchup. So I guess rebounds is really what you want to target. If you look at rebound rate, the Cavs have struggled at defensive rebounding. Offensive rebounding, they're elite. But 8 boards there to Horford, 12 to Jokic, 8 to Draymond, and that's kind of high for Draymond, and then 9 for Ibaka in 30 minutes. So I do think you put somebody like Capella.
I would say Capella's the best rebounder out of that bunch.
Easily. Capella might just be a top 5. Easily a top 5,
yeah,
right? Anyway. Jetty against John Collins. Now, Jetty Osman is interesting. I think at 5'4", 5'6", right? I'm looking for a puncher's chance at 30 to feel like it's a solid play. Would love a little bit of wiggle room for upside, but I think this game is fine to pluck guys that you feel decent enough in their ability to stuff the stat sheet and accrue fantasy points. So I don't mind Jetty. The thing with Trae Young is he doesn't pump off till the second half. Duke, so many center plays tonight. Who do you take on tournaments? I'm on game 1. Let me revisit that question if you don't mind a little later. Got to pay taxes still. I'm running up the credit card. This DFS is addictive. I need to... Come on, buddy. Does Herter get a few extra minutes without Reddish? Yeah, so Reddish would represent, like I said, 30 minutes. I think Herter could see up to 36 minutes if in a pinch. Rondo could be back in the mix for... I got him at 11 minutes, maybe 14, 15 minutes if they have to split those minutes somehow. And like I said, it's not unlike Tony Snell historically to just go eat those minutes and literally do just that. Eat the minutes and do nothing else. And I wouldn't be shocked if that, is something we saw today. But I think that the impact is going to be for Trey Herter and Gallinari specifically in terms of 5 minutes extra to each of those is just way more valuable than it is to probably Snell, right? McGee only played 8 minutes last game. Yeah, that was a little wonky. And Jared Allen played like 40 minutes last game. I feel like that's not the plan going forward, but still. By the way, Jared Allen, 7'6", 7'5". If you had a tier 1, 2, 3 him right now, where are you kind of landing at?
I mean, I still like him. The minutes are going to be there. He's starting center. I mean, I think he should be good for 5x maybe. I don't know about his tournament ceiling. He's probably a tier 3.
3. See, I was when Drummond when Drummond got the divorce, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play a lot of Jared Allen soon, ain't I? And then he came out flat, right? Couple tough games, and then last game was kind of what we were like. That's the Jared Allen we know and love, like the 20 point double. I think the 42 minutes obviously a little high. I think 35, but I still think 40, 50 fantasy points is a very viable ceiling here. I don't think it's a median range outcome, but it's a ceiling. So.
And like his price, we never really got a chance to play like a cheap Jared Allen. Like they adjusted the price rather quickly. I think that's why we haven't been playing a ton of him.
All right, let's move on to the next game here.
You have your air conditioner on hard?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
You have a dryer on, air conditioner? I just heard like a wind blowing in the back.
I had muted my mic because my old lady, I don't know, I was trying to catch up with what she was doing. I didn't know. I guess she's gonna get her nails did, but I didn't know.
Got it.
You're good now, right?
I'm good. Yeah,
all right, Magic at the Detroit Pistons. Let's keep it moving here. It's already almost 3 o'clock, and we got one game covered. Pistons at the Magic. Project starting five for the Pistons. Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee taking on MC Dub, Evan Fournier, James Ennis, Al Farouk Aminu, Nikola Vucevic. Why do I have Frank Jackson typed in? That is a mistake. Dennis Smith Jr. was massive chalk in this spot last time and saw less than 15 minutes. And then we saw Saban Lee outminute him and absolutely outproduce him for fantasy. And I feel like this kind of feels like baby Luka like last night, right? Like Luka was busted last night, and then tonight people might be off him, and he goes off. Like Dennis Smith Jr. busted last slate at 11 minutes, and then like Nick Nurse is gonna give him like 30 minutes tonight in the same spot, right? And he's gonna go off at like a fraction of the ownership. But yeah, just 15 minutes in the start against Orlando last time, 12 fantasy points. That'll be an interesting ownership decree there out in the field. I think Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, all guys I could put in the mix for chip in a chair. But on the Magic side, Vucevic is 9-9, 10-2, and he is putting it together. This team without Aaron Gordon, without Markelle Fultz, without Cole Anthony, he's put some monsters together, back-to-back 64-74, and just reaching back to the first couple stretch games, 65, 50, 61. So I think we have to elevate Vucevic mentally into just the stratosphere of slate breakers that can literally give you 70.
He ain't AK Vuce no more.
He's not. And he went down $100 in price in the same matchup, dropping 64. Raj, make it make sense.
I mean, it's like that. There's some sticker shock seeing 10K next to Vooch. So he's showing the numbers, but I don't think he'll be that chalk. I think he might come under.
Right, I agree. Like I think people just don't play him, but like you should. Like you should have him in the mix.
You probably should. You want to play Vooch here? Evan Fournier. I mean, he's been kind of playing well too, coming out back-to-back 47 bombs at his price. He has that upside. I think I probably like Fournier more than Vooch just as a price play. So give me Fournier as a tier. The way he's playing, I might tier 1 Fournier.
I don't mind that. 7K for Fournier feels a little bit more uncomfortable than 10K for Vooch, but yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah, give me Fournier, give me Vooch. These extra, I'm not playing. Michael Carter Williams is 5,500 on DK. I'm gonna pass on that. I mean, he's gotten there the past couple games, like 5x, sure, but I'm okay with that one. Detroit side, I mean, you mentioned Lee. I think he might be one of the highest on guys on the slate. 3,200, coming off at 33 minutes. Easily one of the highest on guys on the slate. DSJ, I mean, he's DSJ. I think I think the same minutes rotation kind of happened again. I think Lee probably plays more minutes than Dennis.
But why do we think that? That's like, so I'm not. Here's the thing, Chad. Don't. I'm not baiting him for some debate. Why do we think this? Like, just because it was what happened the last game. Nick Nurse is a little annoying when it comes to that. I just felt like, and you know, I'm looking at Dewey. I get what you're saying. Like Dennis Smith Jr. We don't value him as a real NBA player, but for fantasy, he sucked last game because he didn't get minutes. Like he didn't get minutes at a cheap price point. 12 fantasy points in 15 minutes. Couple fouls, nothing crazy. Now that could be the plan, but the 30+ fantasy point is still a range of outcome. Now I don't think I'm gonna play him because I don't think Phil's gonna play him. I don't feel pressure or anything like that, but it's okay to be off of Dennis Smith Jr., but also not want to play Saban Lee. But if you think we're set up to have a similar minutes rotation, and Saban Lee is going to get 33 minutes again at 3,200, would you not lock that? Or like, how strong do you feel about this?
So Wade Ellington's out today, so I think those are some minutes you have to replace.
Svi Mikhailiuk, I think, is in the mix. Yeah.
3,100, he's in the mix. But I think the guy who in tournaments you really want to go to is Josh Jackson. Last game, 32 minutes, 7 for 23 shooting. He took 23 shots. That's what you want to see. He got 10 rebounds, 17 points. So, I mean, he goes 14 for 23. He destroys the slate. You know, probably one of the best values on the slate at 1,500. Gets you 10x at that price, essentially. So, I think Josh Jackson is probably a tier 2 for me in, like, kind of large field tournaments. Josh Jackson might be my favorite Piston today.
I mean, I don't think that's crazy. I
at that price, the shot attempts, like damn, okay. I don't think. I mean, hopefully it's not an anomaly.
Nah, I think so. I still trust Jackson to be closer to a point per minute. Like 20 shot attempts is up there, but he's still stuffing the stat sheet, right? I don't feel like he's dependent on one stat in specific. So yeah, I get to Josh Jackson. It's uncomfortable. Like these are uncomfortable names that we're talking about. It's a 210 total. And I'm just like, man, Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson, Saban Lee. Like, what am I doing on a 9-game slate that this is?
So 210 total. But like Orlando, like Vooch and Fournier's combined usage, I'm probably touching 50%, 55%, something along those lines. And in Detroit, I think it's just a price thing. Like with Lee at 3,200, even if he plays 15 minutes, if he gets you 15, 20, it sucks, but like it doesn't kill you at 3,200. So I mean, I think
it could. It's how often do you full fade the Pistons today for like full fade on this 9-game slate, and one Piston's not part of the winning lineup? Like that's how unreal this feels. Like, but the thing is, like, I look at Saban Lee's minutes and like on FanDuel, Saban Lee went to 5K.
That's tough, yeah.
Which is a nice response.
Exactly.
DraftKings, he's 3,200. Wayne Ellington's out. Like if somebody if there's no DeLon Wright, there's no Derrick Rose, if there's no Wayne Ellington, the Blake Griffin minutes have like gone to Jeremy Grant and he's moved down to the front court. Mm-hmm. You feel like one of these guards is going to contribute to a tournament winning experience.
Saban Lee's their rookie draft pick, right? I mean, he's the guy they're going to try
that's Killian Hayes, but I guess Saban Lee is down. Yeah, I don't know. Chat, let's get caught up on chat here. DSJ is sucked for other bad teams. Yeah, no one's like I'm not going to the end of the earth to defend DSJ as a real basketball player. But we'll play bad players in DFS. Like we just will. Bad players getting 30 minutes in a good spot, chipping a chair, right? But he didn't get the minutes, and that was the issue here. You know, when it projected the starting point guard with those people out to get 15 or less minutes here, and then hashtag DFS, just watch this be the 30-minute spot for Dennis Smith, and he goes bananas. It's just so frustrating. Vucevic at 50 says Lorenzo, I'm with that. What's up, Dez? James only on DK, Vince Yep. Josh Jackson, Grant, Lee, stack with Jokic and Luka. Okay. Dez loving Josh Jackson. I'm with that. DSJ should have stayed in school and learned the point guard position. Saban Lee had 22 potential assists, only got 7. If he gets 15, slate breaking. Yeah. I think I'm sold on DraftKings. Like that's one of the more egregious price discrepancies between the two sites tonight. We're talking two grand.
I would think in a 9-game slate, I'm really like I can build a nice lineup where Atlanta, Cleveland, Detroit, Orlando games. If you just focus on those two.
Like Detroit, Orlando is a source of. That's what you.
When you have like Washington on the slate, you know, Milwaukee, some other studs on the slate. These 2 games, they might get overlooked.
Another like potential value play here. Al-Farouq Aminu's been drawing a couple starts. He got 19 minutes last game, dropped 25 DKP. So high PPM in that regard. Minutes, I think they're still expecting him to be on a restriction for a while. but something to watch. Celtics at the Mavs. Let's keep it moving. Project starting five for the Celtics: Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson, taking on Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, James Johnson, Dwight Powell. We got 223.5 total, 2-point spread in favor of the visiting Boston Celtics. Mavericks, night two of a back-to-back. They're going to be without Kristaps Porzingis again. They're going to be without Maxi Kleber today. And this becomes, I feel like if you gave me that information on the Mavs, back-to-back, no Porzingis, losing Kleber, that's a big part of their front court defense. Like this, it's night and day different. I would put the Celtics a little bit more than a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is the home cooking advantage, and Luka comes out here and drops 70. But on the surface, the Celtics all kind of priced at appropriately. Where I feel like I don't want to have more than one of these high end Celtics, that being Tatum, Brown, Kemba. But this front court for the Mavs is going to be really, really bad. And there was a good stretch earlier this season without Kleber and Porzingis consistently, where opposing centers were dropping 17-plus rebounds. And now, I'm not going to put TT on 17 rebounds or anything like that, but I am going to look at the Celtics front court because they're all under 5K, and I think there's a chip and a chair for all of them. I think Daniel Tice under 5K. I think Tristan Thompson at 44 on DK. I'm not surprised if he drops an economically efficient and friendly 25 fantasy points. So kind of keeping that in the back of my head. And then, we kind of feel like we want to take advantage of a pair of, we're talking 65 minutes of Kleber Porzingis being represented here. We want to take advantage of that. Are you dabbling with James Johnson, Dwight Powell, running back Willie Cauley-Stein after last night? I'm not that excited to do it. What do you do with this game, if anything? And then is Luka goldfish memory exhibit A, where he should have killed it last night, didn't, everyone else did, but this is definitely a spot where, it's sink or swim off of Luka at 11-2. Do you see Luka being a priority for you or not?
I mean, he's got to be in the pool. I'm not going to fade Luka Doncic without Porzingis. Like you said, goldfish memory. It would be DFS if he has an 80-point spot here. I wouldn't be shocked if he drops 40 real-life points with a triple-double. So maybe some Luka. And I think guys got to have pieces of Richardson, Tim Hardaway, and Brunson. I mean, if you want to kind of
go not all three. You can't do all three again.
I mean, no, I wouldn't play all three together, but would you just kind of interchange them all? I mean, I you know what? I think I can not play Brunson just because Saban Lee I can just get that point guard value at 3,200. On DK, don't need to play Brunson at 4,600, but I think Richardson and Tim Hardaway at small forward give you some nice value options there in the 4K range. Just give me some of that. Boston, I think Kemba Walker's intriguing. I think Dallas, the defense, want to attack. He took 21 shots, 36 minutes last game. He's 6,400. So there's meat on the bone on Kemba Walker. That's the type of guy that he's going to have an upside game. I mean, he dropped 50 the game before against Atlanta. So played the same minutes. I mean, so at 6,400, I think I'll take some of him. Tatum and Brown, they're kind of priced appropriately. If you fall into Brown, it's fine. I don't think he'd be a core piece by any means. You mentioned Dyson and Thompson. Daniel Dice, 4,800. Tristan Thompson, 44. Yeah, I think both. Tristan Thompson being center only is a little more difficult. Dice having that power forward eligibility, I think makes him a little more easier to play, so I'll probably have more of him. But bigs against this Dallas front court, I'll definitely attack.
Does Boban Marjanovic get some minutes tonight?
Stop. We're not playing Boban.
Clip it. Chat, what are you doing with this one? This is a hard field game. Lorenzo says, do we think TT gets 30 minutes tonight? 30 is probably pushing it, but I got about 25. And I think 25 in this potential spot is fine.
Couldn't they play small here? With both teams, they can have Dice at the 5, I guess, or Tatum even at the 5.
I mean, logistically they could. Do they want to?
Yeah.
If everyone's healthy, you want to. Yeah. Vooch, Fournier, Ross Lee, Jackson. What's up with the 15 dislikes? Conscious. One guy got in his feelings, and he got banned immediately, and he has 1 billion Gmail, Google accounts, and he's just been switching. But like I said, interactions with the streams is valuable. I don't care. We are chilling. I got 100 dislikes. I'm me. You guys are you. We're doing us. It's good vibes only. Time Lord, last two are great, but doesn't get the minutes. Yeah. Robert Williams is definitely somebody where I need someone out to feel like I want to push that. And yeah, I get it. Like, if you any of these Mavs players are under 5K, you want to take some stabs at, go for it. I think last night was an anomalic range of outcome, right? 3 Mavs not named Luka end up being like great plays at 30+. Brunson, Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway. I don't think 3 people succeed against the Celtics and Luka falls flat. Like, that's such a 1 percentile range of outcome, right? Like, if that happens, Luka's either 5 minutes or what have you. I think the median range of outcome for a Mavs game is Luka +1, I think. If this game stays scrappy enough, long enough, maybe Luka +2 because they are under 5K. Yeah. But, yeah, I think Jay Rich is somebody that I'm a little bit more interested just because of his peripheral value. Tim Hardaway just had an elite shooting night, like elite. And the same with Jalen Brunson. Like, a little bit, we go back to a little bit more of an average shooting night, and, you know, it's a different story. But anyway, I'm not that stoked on Celtics here. I'll try and I might circle back later after I've plucked what I do want. I just tend to always be down on Celtics unless one guy is out. But I'm very aware of how bad the Mavericks rebounding has been without Kleber and Porzingis this season. So I have a mind for one of these front court guys from the Celtics, and I do think Tice and TT were both power forward eligible on FanDuel. Let me see. Or at least at one time they were, and that. No, just Tice. So TT's at center. So I don't know. I might try and pick on that. Houston finally cut Boogie. Yeah. Bottom out. I think last night after the Lakers game, the Lakers waived Quinn Cook, creating a roster spot. Eyebrows raised. Clearly struggling without AD. I don't know. How's Evan still at 6,800? Evan Fournier? Yeah, Evan Fournier has been picking up a lot of slack scoring-wise, so I don't mind looking at him. Last Top Shot question. I just signed up and all the packs are sold out. How often do new packs drop and how will I know on time? Welcome to the grind. If you're on Discord, I would join their Discord. They tend to announce stress tests for commons. They don't really give a big warning for common pack drops, and they treat them as stress tests for the volume of traffic they get. They have been announcing with days in advance of like the promotional packs, the cool cats, the hollow packs or whatever, and then also just know you're not guaranteed to get a pack. You could the way their system is set up is there's a waiting room. Like, let's say they want to drop packs at 5, waiting room opens at 4:55. We all get there, we click a button. And then after all the button clickers are done by 5 p.m., at 5 p.m., they random number generate to everyone that clicked the button, and you get a number. So if they're releasing 5,000 packs, your number represents your number in line, limited 1 pack, and you're hoping that your number is 5,000 or less so you can get one. Yesterday, I think I was number 40,000 yesterday. And there was only 5K packs, so I didn't even sit around. But that's what we're dealing with. It's like people trying to get a PlayStation 5, right? It's like 200 people camped out for 5 PS5s in the store. It's something like that. So don't get your hopes up, but I definitely encourage anyone within the earshot of this. If you sit around a computer, or if you can keep an ear on Discord, it's 100% worth it to click a button. And if you earn the rights or earn the opportunity to buy a pack, it's impossible to lose money right now. So do it. Kings at the Nets, next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Kings: De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes. Up against James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green. Now we have a slate. 7:30 p.m., 242 Brooklyn Nets. Home opener with fans, 242 total. I love this game in Sacramento. I love this game in Brooklyn. We are putting two of the league worst defenses at it today. The total represents what I was hyping up last time. Sacramento is the league worst defense. Brooklyn is bottom 8, but I feel like if we took out all of the Kevin Durant minutes, I feel like they could be competing. As a matter of fact, as an exercise, we can go to the on-off court tool over there at Fantasy Labs, and we take off KD. And then just so we don't have to pluck off Jared Allen and Torrent Prince and blah, 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 let's put James Harden and Kyrie on the court for the Nets. And let's go look at their defensive rating on the court. It's 118.8, which would be a tenth of a point worse than the Sacramento Kings. So this should be a shootout, defense-free experience. And it's one of those games, just like a couple weeks ago, I really got nothing that I'm saying no to. And I think James Harden is my answer to Luka Doncic. I think everyone's going to feel that way, which makes Luka a little bit more contrarian and perhaps lucrative and leveraged for big fields. But James Harden's in a amazing spot. Kyrie Irving under 9K. These could be 110 plus fantasy points between Harden and Kyrie. And then DeAndre Jordan had a massive game against the Clippers. Maybe put some big rebound numbers on him today. But I think it's Harden, Kyrie for me. And then if I want to take some errant dart throws at some of the other nets, sure. But for me, I like handcuffing those two. And then on the Kings side, looks like Rashawn Holmes will play. I missed out on that a couple games back. I like this matchup for him. I think at 5,600 on DraftKings, he's got every right to be near a point per minute, if not greater, against the Brooklyn Nets front court. Pace-up spot, I like that. Marvin Bagley's kind of coming to his own. Harrison Barnes is still questionable. He's missed a stretch of games with some trade rumors associated with him. I'll pull up the Sacramento injury news and notes for Barnes. We got him listed with a foot. He has missed past 3 games for Sacramento. Luke Walton has gone with a different starter each game. Corey Joseph, Nemanja Bjelica, and Daquan Jeffries all getting a chance. So we love Luke Walton. De'Aaron Fox, 7'9", 8K. He could be 50-plus fantasy points in this matchup. Buddy Hield, 6K. 30-plus is in the wheelhouse. And then Tyrese Halliburton also there. And this eventually could be a game that ends up being no center basketball for a long stretch. So give me as much as I can get of this game. I think I'll have a lot more Kings than Nets in terms of individual player exposure. I'm just going to have a ton of Harden, Kyrie, and then maybe a dart throw of some of these 30-minute guys. Like every now and then, Joe Harris gets there on 25 real points, whatever. But Harden, Kyrie, and then spin the wheel, make it deal. Fox, Hield, Halliburton in the mix, and then I have a hankering for a little Bagley and Holmes, and Bagley will still have like a minutes limit associated with him, but we know that he can break through that minute ceiling because he played 35 minutes 2 games ago without Holmes. A curtain called with a 29 the next night. So, 30 minutes, it's under 6K. It's still a chip in a chair in this spot. So, Rods, I love this game. I don't think there's many names you can throw at me here that I would disagree with it. What are you doing with this one?
You play Harden, Kyrie, elite spots for them. Jeff Bree being questionable and TLC being questionable. Does that maybe open up for more minutes for a guy like Bruce Brown, maybe? He played 34 minutes last game already. Does that give a bump to anybody that you like as a value guy?
No, it would just be more minutes. I'm not playing Ovonleh. Don't.
I was trying to see. Yeah. So play the studs there. Sacramento side. I like Fox here. Halliburton's interesting. I never get it right. He always had these random eruption spots. He's played minutes 35, 33, 30, 30, 31 the past few games. So, this is a spot against Brooklyn. Don't hate him. So Fox, Halliburton. Buddy Hield. If he gets hot from 3, don't hate it. Give me some Buddy Hield. Bagley's been good to me. With Holmes back, I do think that takes away some of his upside. But I think I'll have some of him. And even Holmes, if 5,600, is he still in that 20 minute, 22 minutes restriction? Don't want him. But if he plays 30 minutes against Brooklyn, I'd want a lot of Rashawn Holmes.
Holmes was never really on a restriction. He
wasn't on the mid for the last game. He just played 21. He had 4 fouls.
Yeah. Maybe the first game back they were monitoring him, but I don't think he was. They just 21 minutes scored 8 though they could have a larger role necessary foul trouble in the Bucks. And then they got smoked, right? They got blown out in the second half.
Yeah.
Let me verify that. Let me put a little context to it. Brooklyn, or excuse me, I clicked the wrong game. It was Milwaukee and Sacramento. So we'll look at what was on the court in the fourth quarter for Sacramento, and that's another case for Marvin Bagley. Bagley could be a 30-plus minute player now. Fourth quarter Bucks for the fourth quarter Kings for the Bucks game. Kyle Guy, Corey Joseph, Jabari Parker, Halliburton played like the final the final 20 minutes. That was nuts. Bagley did play a decent stretch in the fourth. And Rashawn Holmes did not. So Fox did, though. I'll tell you what, there were starters out there in the fourth quarter. It wasn't necessarily just a blowout squad. So,
Bagley or Holmes, 1v1.
Bagley or Holmes. I don't think I get to them. I think they're all in the pool for me. Like, if I get pinched in the corner and I have to choose between them, probably Bagley, but it's really just me trusting my projections that I have Bagley a little bit higher than Holmes. So, but I assuming Luke Walton doesn't get overly creative today, I would like all the Kings. I would even play some Harrison Barnes if he was playing. If he was playing, he's been a perennial.
I played him against Brooklyn last time. He hurt me. He had like 12 fantasy points. But yeah, probably go right back to him. Here's the issue. Harden versus Vooch. You're going Harden?
In a util, if I got back to a corner, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the downside in Harden here?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think he has a higher floor. Obviously, Vooch has been amazing, but against Sacramento, I would think Harden has a higher floor.
Yeah, I would also expect Harden to be probably one of the highest studs on the slate. So.
Yeah.
I wonder what Harden's assist prop is over on Prize Picks. Harden taking full reins of the point guard position. So I'm going to go check out Prize Picks. You guys can cross-reference with your local books or your DK Sports books. We talk about Prize Picks a few times a stream. If you guys are unfamiliar with what Prize Picks is, it is kind of like a prop betting parlay site. You can prop bet fantasy points, real points, assists, rebounds. So, for instance, if I isolate single stats for assists, James Harden is currently listed at 11 assists. He's averaging 11.1 assists per game this season. He's going against the league worst defense. I feel like there's a better than average chance that he can do better than 11 assists. I like the potential push at 11. I haven't projected for 11.4, so I like James Harden in that regard. Let me see his last couple games for assists. He's just he's turned into a really good point guard. Not turned into, but it's for me. It's like when A-Rod and Jeter like I didn't know which one of you thought one was not going to just accept the reassignment to third base, and they kind of did. Kyrie accepting the shooting guard role. So 7, 11, 11 assists for Harden here last couple games. All road games in tougher matchups. Maybe not so much the Lakers from what we're seeing, but at Phoenix, tough spot. At the full strength Clippers, Beverly, George, Kawhi. So yeah, you give me Kings defense. I'll take some shots on that. So if you guys want to tail that, go for it. There's plenty of players on this slate to find some exploitable numbers, whether it be assist points, fantasy points, anything like that. Of course, most of you guys already. There's a train, by the way. You expected that one. You're late, bro. We expected that one. Let me pull up the PP Big Banner. PrizePicks.com, code GUNDACKER. They will match your initial deposit up to $100 instantly, by the way. You don't have to play through the 100 and slow drip $1 at a time. You just sign up right now, code GUNDACKER. You deposit $10, $20, 30, 50, what? 70, what? 80, what? They're going to match you. 110. Nope, that's too much. But up to 100, they'll match you. Where's Chronic? He would appreciate that one. So check that out. It's a good way to better reward your research. So when guys are good plays individually and they outperform their prop number, They don't necessarily automatically become great tournament-winning DFS players. So if you're just already putting in the time to research plays, research matchups, you might as well diversify your spend just a little bit and bet on your research if you can. Let's get back into the action over on DK. Kyrie versus Jamal Murray the other day was a fun debate, and Kyrie got there. Do you foresee a lot of Harden Kyrie in your future, or just Harden?
I mean, I'll always play more Harden than Kyrie, but I think you got to keep. Again, there's still no Durant, and you have to keep Kyrie in the pool. He can just erupt for 40 real life points any night. It's Sacramento. I mean, you can play them together here if you just want to kind of game size the game, bring it back with some Fox and Bagley.
Next game on the docket, Knicks hosting the Golden State Warriors. Project starting five for the Warriors: Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney back in the mix potentially up against Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Nerlens Noel. We got 220 total, 3-point spread in favor of the visiting Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, 17% owned on FanDuel the other night, coming home to Charlotte in front of his pops. And pregame warm-up video comes out of him holding his leg, walking gingerly, and then they roll him out with an illness. Looks like he should be expected to play today. We could see minutes from James Wiseman, Looney back in the mix. Will this put Draymond back to a 28-minute player? That remains to be seen. The New York Knicks are running the league lowest pace at 96.1 possessions a game right now, which is incredible. Their defensive rating, I think, gets slept on. Right now, they're the third best defense in terms of defensive efficiency. And I think what's teetering that seesaw is offensively, they just haven't been great. So whenever a team's offensive rating is lower than their defensive rating, you're not going to look like a great team. And that's what we have here. So I think that's what's hiding and masking the Knicks defense. But they're really a solid defense. So they've been the team that I've been staying away from. I do think we get big minutes, obviously, out of Julius Randle. And I think at 8'8", 9'3", he's an interesting click that maybe gets lost in the sauce. 50-plus fantasy points is a range of outcome. But on the Golden State Warriors, if we have as much as an 11-man rotation, is anyone other than Steph tickling you? I mean, Kelly Oubre's at an uncomfortable 7K plus in a tough spot. Wiggins is whatever. He gets there. He's not far from getting to Evan Fournier's price. And then Steph Curry, I think, is the real debate here. Burns a lot of people, but he has 50-plus fantasy potential anytime he steps onto a basketball court. Are you doing anything with the Warriors, or you do nothing with the Warriors? It's a big slate. It's okay to say no.
Yeah, I could fade this game. Like when it comes to Curry, it's just again the other point guard on the slate: Luka, Lillard, Trae Young, Westbrook's playing on the back-to-back. Kyrie, James Harden. Like it's just the point guards are strong today, so I probably get to no Curry today. Again, not a bad play. It's just you can't play everyone. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm just fading this game. Julius Randle was a little intriguing, but again, other guys in better spots. I'm just going to fade this game. I don't really think there's any value in this game. Like everyone seems priced appropriately. Not going to touch the Knicks guard situation. Yeah.
Noel and Randall, I feel like I could put them in the mix.
Not in 20 though.
In 50, maybe not. We'll see.
I mean, Noel 5,300 on FanDuel. That's a price. Or Noel.
Yeah, I can give the third. He is a. I think he's still power forward. I don't know. He's not a lock, but I could put him in the mix. I can put him in the mix.
Yeah, he's not a comfortable click. Yeah, he's not like a tier 1, tier 2 type of guy. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in this game who you're kind of running to play or who's mispriced that heavily.
Man, it's just, how often does a Derrick Rose outproduce for fantasy a Tim Hardaway, Jalen Brunson, guys like that?
I mean, going against the thing. I mean, even like a guy like Elfrid Payton, 4,900, he played 30 minutes last game. He's going to have a random big game, right? If you want to play that roulette, and 150, sure, you get these guys in and they can win you something, but I just can't get there in 20. Even 50 would be tough.
James says Kyrie versus Tatum on DraftKings. I mean, those are good 1v1s. I think the range of outcomes are similar. I think I like Kyrie just a little. I just love the opportunity of putting Kyrie and Harden together. You know, they're projected. I think they're projected to score the most points on the slate today, and you know so much of it's going to come from them. Echo. So I just like that, and unless a Brown or a Kemba was out, I don't have a reason to be overly aggressive on Tatum. Raj, there's an echo coming from you.
From me?
Yeah. Anytime I talk, I hear me. And it's definitely feedback from you.
I don't know why that would happen.
Yeah, I don't know either. Fix it. Luke Walton's so weird, but at least it gives you 45, then Luke plays him 11 minutes. Yeah, it's don't get me started on Luke Walton. Luke Walton. Who's a better coach, Luke Walton or Ryan Saunders?
But Luke Walton's been living off like the run he went on with the Warriors, which again anybody could have coached the Warriors to 20-2 record or whatever when they were that team.
RJ Barrett will score a lot today. I don't mind Barrett. I think 55, 30 minutes baked in there. Definitely a spot where you're going to need to keep up with the Warriors more often than not. I think Barrett's a fine call. I actually didn't really realize he's 55. 55 for RJ seems like a real strong shot at 30 fantasy points and maybe a little bit more.
I like that. He used to be 7K. The price went down. I like that upside there.
Yeah. Dad says, Gun, would you feel comfortable playing Kyrie over Harden? No, but individually, if you had lineups with just Kyrie and lineups with just Harden, I don't think you're wrong. I think the price wise and then the position where you could play him at.
If you play that Sacramento Brooklyn game 10 times, I think Harden probably outscores Kyrie 7, and then Kyrie has 3 games where he outscores Harden.
By the way, on FanDuel, they still have Harden as a shooting guard and Kyrie as a point guard. And it's a $2,200 price difference. So I don't know the context of your question, Des, in terms of what site. But I don't think I don't think it gets to a 1v1 for me because I think I could just play them both. There's been a lot of teams lately where I can just grab 2 guys and know I'm getting the Clippers. I can grab Paul George and Kawhi and grab Westbrook, Beal. You know what I'm saying? You can grab Kyrie and Harden right now, and then when KD's back, it's just okay, which 2? If not all are average. I think it's just an opportunity. I just love throwing a blanket over potentially 100 to 120 fantasy points, and they're at home. First game in front of fans, right? James Harden. You just add a little narrative in front of fans. James Harden, you're trying to make a good first impression, maybe. And you're going against the worst defense in basketball. There's so much to love about that.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be there. 76ers at the Raptors. Project starting 5 for the Sixers. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris taking on, and Joel Embiid taking on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, and Pascal Siakam. 2-2-2 and another 1-2 is our total 1.5 point spread in favor of the 76ers. I feel like we've seen this game a couple times. Kyle Lowry's questionable. If he doesn't play, we've seen the lineup where VanVleet is the point guard and Norman Powell continues to thrive. If he does play, it does kind of stir things up because we have uncomfortable pricing all across the board. Sixers on the road have been a little bit more average than what they've been at home. Ben Simmons is 9.4, 9K. Hard to get up for that when we have Kyrie for a little cheaper against the worst defense. So I don't necessarily see myself landing on Simmons a lot. And then Joel Embiid, 10-8, 10-6. Him and LeBron keep going back and forth for these MVP games. It's like they staggered their games where one guy plays X, the other guy plays Y, and it's just every night it's who can one up the other. Joel Embiid's a 10-8, 10-6. What's the range of outcomes going against the Raptors where Joel Embiid, drops 60-plus fantasy points and is serviceable to get you into high ends of tournaments? I feel like on the surface, if Lowry's in, I feel like this could be a game I potentially have none of. But if Lowry's out, are you even excited to get here anyway?
I think I might like Embiid even more with Lowry because I think it's a competitive game, 4-quarter game. Even without him, I think it should be a competitive game. So anytime Embiid could get his full allotment of minutes, 35, 36 minutes, I like him. Him versus Vooch who you going with? Essentially the same price, or Vooch is a little cheaper, but
I mean, I feel like Vooch is role, right? It's kind of like what I said yesterday. If the Magic compete, Vooch is a reason. If the Sixers compete, there's still a world where Tobias had a big game, or Ben Simmons had a big game, or Curry got hot. Like, it doesn't necessarily live or die by Joel Embiid, but the Magic will live and die by Vucevic.
No, that's the truth. Not here you on that. Fred VanVleet with no Kyle Lowry. I think he's gonna be a click 8,200. I like him, but yeah, other than that, this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember, like Lowry's not out.
Yeah, he's questionable.
I heard him. I've been hearing him tied to a lot of trade rumors, including some with the Sixers.
Interesting.
Could be a showcase.
But yeah, I mean, if he plays, I could, like I said, I could see myself just kind of not playing anyone in this game. Again, everyone's priced right. Tobias is still at 8K on FanDuel. Not a price tag too comfortable with for him. This game is gonna be a fade.
If Lowry's out, I could land on a Van Vliet or a Powell.
Yeah, and Powell's intriguing tournaments after letting everyone down.
Yeah,
last game.
Chat, what do you guys know with this one before we move on to the next one? Dad says I like some Danny Green as value. Okay. Jokic dominates Portland with that. Gun, would you feel comfortable? Okay, we did that one. Gun, Embiid or Jokic? Jokic.
Jokic has a better matchup against Portland.
Yeah, absolutely. That game could also blow out, but probably Jokic. Probably. It's not a snap call at all. Vooch at home, we like that. Lorenzo, yeah. Let's move on to the next game. Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves under new management and the most set up ever that was ever set up ever. Like Saunders, like you didn't just after the end of the game, you didn't just fire a coach and then just have another one from another team waiting. Like, what was that? That was some secret squirrel nonsense. Project starting fire for the T-Wolves, Ricky Rubio, Malik Beasley, Anthony crossing over with Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl Anthony Towns, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd taking on DJ Augustine, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. 231.5 is our total. 10.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Milwaukee Bucks. We did get a couple blurbs and quotes from the new coach, and he essentially said that we need to get the ball into Karl Anthony Towns' hands more. So it sounds like that's going to be one of his offensive priorities. I like the sound of that, but I also don't love game one here under a new coach being against the home team Milwaukee Bucks. So kind of a tough read. But I think much like the sink or swim analogy, if the Timberwolves are within 15 of this game in the fourth quarter, you probably expect Cat had a big part, or at least a decent game at 9-7, 9-6. Cat's coming off one of his best fantasy games of the season. I'm curious here. What do we still wait? Do we still respect the Bucks here at home and chill out for now? Is there a way Cat breaks the slate here, or are you fading this? Because I got 11 guys right now that I have projected at 8 or more minutes, and that's frustrating for the T-Wolves.
The T-Wolves, I'm probably not getting to any Cat. He had a good game against New York. I mean, how has Milwaukee done against centers? I feel like they've been kind of strong. No, yes.
Yeah. They're perennially one of the better teams against centers. However, that's based on them limiting points in the paint, and Cat's not limited to the paint. So I think it would be kind of fair to pull up Cat's history against the Karl Anthony Towns DKP by game log versus Bucks last 10 games. I need a bigger keyboard, man. Let's see. Cat 32, 43, 39. There's 161 in there from 2017, 46. So it's very underwhelming historically. I'm kind of leaning towards I don't need this game for now. On the Bucks side, Giannis Antetokounmpo is just 60 points a night, and he's always at the top. And it's one of the better matchups you could ask for. And then Chris Middleton's 7-2 on FanDuel. But the thing is, like, He finally woke up, but he was 40% owned. Like, he wasn't.
Yeah.
This wasn't like slot. Like, everyone stayed at the slot machine. And at 7,200 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, once again, I could expect elevated ownership on FanDuel because he's small forward eligible, and he just seems like a free shot at 40 fantasy points against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then that
50.
little bit of wiggle room here. So, how much Middleton, how much Giannis? Even if we're full fading T-Wolves, like even in blowouts,
Giannis tier 2, and Chris Middleton. He just fits nicely on FanDuel at that price, the small forward position. He might be a tier 1. I kind of like at the small forward spot playing him and Fournier together. He's 7'2", Fournier 6'8", and both those guys have that kind of 40 plus 50 point upside.
Yeah. Mark
Good
Case
matchup
says,
usage.
Flip Saunders, such a historical part of the Timberwolves. His son Ryan kind of got thrown into the mix a few years after his death. I don't believe a new coach. No, I think you should have kept Ryan Saunders, but you should have gave him somebody to sit under, like sneakily thrown like a Mark Jackson in The Office or something. Like, I mean, look what you've been giving Saunders for. Like, he had to clean up Thibodeau's mess, right? And then he's dealing with a slew of injuries every year, slew of trades. Like, it's not like, I'm not saying Saunders had a great trajectory of being a great coach, but also feel like maybe the organization didn't set him up for great success either, and they just trusted the name value. Milwaukee doesn't scare me defensively at all. He should have a field day if it stays close as Damian. Yeah, the Bucks' defensive rating, 111.1 points per 100 possessions, and then, of course, you pluck Drew Holiday from the mix. The caveat there is the Timberwolves' offensive rating is dog water, 106.4. So, the defense is exploitable. We've seen good offenses do it, but the Timberwolves haven't been a great offense. So I could understand that. I think Anthony Edwards, in a fast-paced matchup like this, there's a case for him to chuck 20 shots. Will he shoot better than 15, 20%? If so, he has a shot to drop 30, 40 fantasy points. So I think we could start making some of these cases, but you got to be. I mean, you still need to be a good offense for me to really trust you. Saunders will still be part of the organization, I hope. I hope so, too. I hope so, too. Anyway. DJ Augustine, 3,900, 4,200. He kind of got lost in the Dennis Smith Jr. frustration last slate. I'm willing to go back to Augustine. And it's not because I feel like he's an elite player or anything, but the minutes, right? The opportunity is still there. In a couple games as a starter, we got 32 minutes and 27 minutes last 2 games. 10 shot attempts. He only shot 20%. So Minnesota Timberwolves shipping a chair. If I get 25, 30 fantasy points, I think it's viable. Maybe I take a couple of risky value play stabs at Augustine. Not going to jam it in, but I think points per dollar per minute, there's a decent opportunity cost there. And then Bobby Portis, I think, is somebody I can put in the mix for a shot at 30 fantasy points at 5K range as well. And then Pat Connaughton, I haven't projected for 27 minutes. That's a shot. Like, I'll take some shots at that at his price range as well. Mark says, you guys got to see the dunk Anthony Edwards threw down looking like Vince Carter. Yes, but it's like when Booker dropped 80 points on the Celtics and lost. Anthony Edwards dunked on Utah Watanabe from the Raptors, but he shot 3 for 14, had 7 real points, 0 for 7 from 3. So, like, the team scored 8. It was a great dunk individually. Horrendous basketball game from Anthony Edwards.
Top shot yet?
No, not yet, but I would assume, a rookie poster like that might be one of the more sought after cards when it does drop. Shadow says, what do you think about Giannis over 12.5 rebounds? I think he could do it. It was just, does he get four quarters? Like, does he get stuck on 11 because he played 25 minutes, 27 minutes? So it's a little bit risky, but obviously I think he could do it. I can tell you what the projections have for Giannis. Control F. Giannis. Actually, you know what? I don't have his name up yet. I have to. Boom. Now we can. Giannis. I have him at 12.8. So if your line is 12.5, I'm barely over that. Uncomfortable. I'd probably want to expand to like PRA if I was betting potential blowout stuff. I like a Towns Middleton stack. It's a good correlation. All right, let's move on to the next game here. Portland Trail Blazers at the Denver Nuggets. Projects 35 for the Blazers. Damian Lillard, Gary Trent Jr., Derek Jones Jr., Robert Covington, and they hate us because they ain't us. Cantor taking on Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, Michael Porter Jr., Zeke Naji, and Nikola Jokic. 232 is our total 6-point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets. I might need to fact check this, but me and Chronic were talking the other day, and Chronic said that Jamal Murray's birthday is the same day as he plays the Blazers. Is today Jamal Murray's birthday? Check. Could someone look that up for me? If you care about birthday narratives, here's a good matchup. Jokic is at home, 10.5 on FanDuel, 10.8 on DraftKings. Everyone on the Nuggets is an elite spot. The Portland Trail Blazers are disintegrating.
Today's his birthday.
It's his birthday. All right.
24 years old.
Blazers disintegrating into one of the worst defenses in basketball. So everyone's in a good spot. Even Monte Morris has shown 30 fantasy point potential with Barton back in the mix. But the first two guys I'm leaning on here, obviously Murray and Jokic. So I don't think it's wrong to target either. I still think we get another fun debate between Kyrie versus Jamal Murray just because of how they're only like $500 fantasy dollars difference, and there's a similar range of outcomes there. Jamal Murray has put together a really strong stretch of fantasy viability. If you look at his last couple games, with and without Will Barton, with and without Paul Millsap, we got a 45, 68, 61, 45. So he's getting a little bit more on the consistent side. 39 or more in 5-6 straight. 20 shot attempts in 3 straight. Point guards against the Portland Trail Blazers are a lot of what you want right now. So I'd like if you come at me with some Jamal Murray birthday hype at home, I'm not pushing back. I think it's a elite spot for him. And then Jokic is just in a elite spot regardless as well. But he's 10-5, 11K. You know, these are that category of players, the Vucevic, the Jokic, the Embiid, the Hardens. If you go out there and you stick your neck out for Jokic, he probably has to be the highest scorer on the slate, probably, unless you get extreme value somewhere else and you just take that 60. But again, I'm not pushing back on Jokic. I think he's a fantastic play. I think the question I'm a little bit more dipped into is Damian Lillard. You know, kind of like Luka last night. I didn't like Lillard pre-flop last night. I thought that was an easy fade spot. Back-to-back after facing the Suns, going into the altitude, are we still staying away from Dame? What are you doing with this game?
I mean, fading Dame is always dangerous. This type of guy, like I said, he has that all-star snub narrative. It's still Damian Lillard against a good team, and he wakes up for it. So I think if you want some Damian Lillard, a fade is definitely not what I'm going to do. Just Dame on the Portland side for me. Just, again, at 10-4, could break the slate. Give me some of him. Denver side, it's Murray, Jokic, and I probably don't get to any Porter today.
Timothy Luwawu rolled out Iman Shumpert available to play tonight. That's fun. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Chat, if you guys got anything else on this one, let me know. Hey, Cohen, can you please explain to me what's the deal with Top Shot? Can you make money out of it? I'm not from the U.S. I don't know. I've kind of said that a few times, Stefan. But yes, you can make money for it. You just try and get to a pack drop. I wouldn't invest any of your actual money yet. Just put $20 aside, $30 aside, and if you can get in line, get a pack, go for it. It's essentially virtual trading cards, a little bit of crypto flavor, a little bit of NFT, or it's NFT. But yeah, if you go to the beginning of the video, I kind of did a deeper explanation. Maybe I just need to put up a video about it. TNT game, Denver poor defensively lately. I think Lillard can go off. Yeah, Dame all-star snub on TV. Sure. I mean, Dame's always in play. Like, if you look up tonight, Dame's got 60. Not a shock. And some of their stronger defenders, i.e. Gary Harris, out. I have projected for over 50 fantasy points. So I think Dame is right there in the mix. I just think maybe he falls through the cracks because of who else is on the slate at the price range. So I'm absolutely not pushing back on Dame. And then Gary Trent also, 55 on him, 59 on DK. Should be second to third on the team in minutes. And he has a shot day-to-day to take 15 to 20 shot attempts, a lot of them from 3. And the Nuggets have been kind of average at guarding the 3, and Gary Harris is one of the better guard defenders, and he's out. So is what it is. I still don't think I'm paying $7K for Robert Covington, Raj. I just don't think I'm there. So stay away from that. Let's move on to the next game, the last game, main event tonight. Before we do that, take a pause for the cause. Let you guys know that after the party, it's the after party, and after the party, it's the Discord lobby. We'll be in the RunDFS.com NBA pre-log voice chat up until lock. You guys are invited to come. It is a premium perks behind the paywall. And if you're looking to climb that paywall, go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account, click VIP passes, find a pass that's right for you, week pass, 2-week pass, month pass, all up there. I took down the year pass. We might put the All-Star to All-Star break pass up soon, since that's going to be next week. And then the baseball All-Star breaks in July. I did announce yesterday that I will accept payments via Top Shot cards. I'm going to do that. We're going to set some precedents with that one. So if you are a Top Shot collector and you want to get yourself a VIP pass, but you don't want to dig into the PayPal account, you got some moments out there that might be equivalent to a VIP pass or something like that in terms of what's on the market, hit me up, twitter.com/Gundacker. There's a lot of cards right now that you might not have real money in that all of a sudden are worth a couple hundred, and that'll get you a year pass. So hit me up on Twitter. Anyway, main event tonight. Washington Wizards at the Los Angeles Clippers. Project starting 5 for the Wizards. Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Garrison Matthews, Rui Hachimura, Mo Wagner taking on Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nick Batum, Serge Ibaka. We got a 233.5 total. A 12-point spread in favor of the home team Clippers. Wizards, night 2 of a back-to-back. They did play extra innings last night, going to overtime against the Lakers. In the plus column, they didn't have to travel, staying in the Staples Center. So Westbrook has missed some back-to-backs this season, but they did come out and say that he is expected to play tonight. He did play a back-to-back previously. He's under 10K on both sites. Him and Patrick Beverley got a little bit of a spicy history. Be fun to see those two go at it. And then Bradley Beal's under 10K. And how easy is it to see Westbrook Beal just fall to no ownership in a perceived tough matchup? But knowing their volume, their uses, potential minute count tonight, could they be 50 pluses? Could they combine yet again for another 100 plus fantasy points like they've done last couple games? I think that's a interesting handcuff. I don't really have any interest in the supplementary ancillary players from the Wizards. I don't disagree with a 12-point spread. I definitely think they could be a little gassed here, and the Clippers are more full strength than they have been in a while. On the Clipper side, Paul George, 8.5 on FanDuel. I love that price point. I love his per minute so far this season. 9.1 on DK. Can drop 50-plus fantasy points in this matchup. And the same for Kawhi Leonard. I mean, these guys are priced in somewhat of no man's land where you could see them just kind of getting lost in terms of ownership and just don't gain a lot of traction, but 50-plus fantasy points on the board for them. So I think it's one of those, I put my ear to the ground, kind of hear or feel out where the field is projected to be on them in terms of ownership, and then we would move on from that. It does look like we lost Raj at Gundeck. I think Raj disconnected. His internet went down. That's fine. We're almost done anyway. Oh, but he says he's back. All right. Is what it is. I like Ibaka in fast-paced spots, but we haven't seen him stress those minutes. And when this Clippers team is full strength, fully healthy, just don't really put minutes or usage or anything on anyone that's not Paul George or Kawhi. So I think it might be a two-trick pony for me in terms of exposure. Start tier 3 levels on a PG and a Kawhi, and then I'm at least curious on what to do with Westbrook and Beal. In terms of where do I put them in my own tiers, because if we start looking at the guard position, and I don't get me wrong, I definitely think they're good plays inherently in terms of minutes and usage, but in the 9K range for guard, even a little cheaper. Like I do like the spot for Kyrie, I like the spot for Jamal. I'm very worried about a 12-point spread. Wizards are, man, they might be at the end of the rope in terms of gas. Like they started the fourth quarter. Like at one point they were down 17, and Lakers just lost it. So I don't know that the Clippers will choke like that. So I'm probably going to be tier 3 at most right now on the Beal Westbrooks, and Paul George I can see being a 2 for me on FanDuel, and then Kawhi is a 3. Just kind of spitballing where I might be. Deku says, I'm scared to play Westbrook for that reason, Gun. He would get ejected tonight against Patrick Beverly. Very possible. Great filibuster. What about Cantor versus Denver? Cantor per minute's like fine. I don't think that his price is anything and matchups anything that I want to go crazy about. Mark says, I just made a lineup on DK with Giannis, Doncic, and Harden. Holy. It's doable with all the cheap value. Let's get this money. Remember, scary money can't make money. Scary money don't make money. It is what it is. What are we looking like tomorrow? I do have to get out of here and get cranked up for the Discord chat in 10 minutes. But tomorrow, hump day. I think the other day I looked up the schedule for weeks to come, and it's just stacked until the All-Star break. Tomorrow, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games. First game being 6:30, so a 30-minute window of opportunity, like after normal lock. So we'll still aim for, I think, like I said, I think we'll still aim for 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Central as the quote-unquote unofficial official start time. Sometimes we'll go 10 minutes later like we did today, something like that. So we'll look for that. Any lasting questions, comments, concerns, chat. If not, twitter.com/Gundacker. Reminder, if you guys want access to my player pool tonight, what I actually end up with, I do have that in the spreadsheet. This is my worksheet, my actual, as I'm making my player pool for my optimizer, I'm listing them here, ranking them here. You don't have to copy. You can just compare yours to mine. And then we'll be in the pre-lock Discord talking some ideas, talking some plays. Also, if you were in the pre-lock Discord yesterday, fun matchup, or fun debate, rather, between Raj and Chronic. And I think today we're going to start a head-to-head. I don't know if it's going to be a series, but I think the challenge was laid out there yesterday. Maybe we get Chronic versus Raj. I wish I had that conversation saved, because it got raunchy between Raj and Chronic, and boy, was I drinking some tea. It was great. Late Night Hammer is a late night fade. You think so? Okay, Zubac I like as a low on play under the radar, says Adam. Tell me, what do you got Bagley for points? For real points? Sure. Just know that I don't know that if Harrison Barnes is in, so Bagley's projection could alter. I have Bagley at 17 real points with 26.6 PRA. So that's what we got. Do I like over 13? Yes. In that matchup, yeah. I think so. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. I sure appreciate you guys hanging out with me, making part of my day, part of your day. As always, if you want to combat the thumbs down train, hit that thumbs up, show some love. Otherwise, we'll be back at it tomorrow. I'll be in the pre-lock Discord up until lock, and I hope you crush it tonight. I hope you guys absolutely win all of the money that I don't win. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Same gun time, same gun channel. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.